Moving to Ireland as a nurse is very simple. It's very straightforward and very clear. All you need is the right information, which is why I am here. So if today is your first time coming across my videos, my name is Ndueso. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos. Okay, so the timeline that you can move to Ireland as a nurse can range between 9 months to over 2 years, depending on how you are going about with your procedure. And for you to become a nurse in Ireland, the very first step you need to be is that you should have been a nurse in your home country. Okay, you have to be registered with the Nursing and Midwifery Board, Nursing and Midwifery Council, however it is called, in your home country. So if you're from Nigeria, Kenya, Gambia, Zambia, you need to be a registered nurse in your country, and you need to have the training that leads to your qualification shouldn't be less than 3 years. So you should have a training of 3 years or more. That's 3 years for the diploma nurses and 4 years or more for the degree nurses. Okay, and I also have this question that people say, what's the difference between diploma and degree nurses here in Ireland? There's nothing different in terms of pay or salary. It's just when it comes to progression. Maybe we'll talk about that in a different video. But there, yeah. So that being said, the next very first step is for you to go and write your IELTS exams or your OET. Okay, so Ireland accepts the IELTS academic. It could be IELTS UKVI Academy or IELTS Academy or OET for nurses. Okay, so when you are writing the exams, you want to get, the criteria is that you should have 6.5 in any of the 4 modules and 7 in the remaining 3, and overall 7. I say that again: 6.5 in any of the 4 modules and 7 in the remaining 3, and 7 overall. That's the minimum IELTS requirement. The same is available, the same it is for OET when you convert it. When you have your IELTS, the next thing you want to do is to go about your documentation. So the very first thing you should do is to go to your Nursing and Midwifery Council and request for license verification. Currently, Nigeria, they say the minimum is 6 months. So make sure you do that as soon as you get your IELTS. Go straight to apply for your verification. Apply for your verification to be sent to NMBI. And while that is on the way, you now start your document gathering. That's the next step. I think that's the third one now, right? So the first thing is for you to go to your school and request for your transcript. Now this transcript, they have to be broken down in clinical and theoretical hours, and your curriculum throughout the period of your training. And there is a qualification form that you are downloading from NMBI website, taken to your school to be filled. Also an explanation letter if applicable. Now, if applicable, in the sense that explanation letter only comes in when your school does not have an official website, does not have an official email address, your head of school does not have an official email address. What do I mean by official email address? For example, if you are working in Nigeria, all official email address in Nigeria ends at .ng. Ireland ends at .ie. UK ends at .uk. So if you have any email address that does not go that pattern, then it is not. If you have any email address like Gmail, Yahoo Mail, all those email that you can just sit in your house and create, that is not work email, that is not official. So if that's the case in your school, then there have to be an explanation letter stating that this email is what they use. If the school does not have a website, they explain that in that letter, and then they can either hand it over to you to go and upload on the portal, or they can send it directly. Now this one depends on your school, so they will be the one to decide. Whichever way is fine. Don't argue anything with your school. That's what they are known for, and that's what NMBI also know them for. Okay, so that's the document you are gathering from your school. Next thing is document coming from you. The first thing is your identification document, which could be your passport and your birth certificate. So passport alone is fine. So you get your passport, you get your certificate, that's your certificate of registration that your nursing council gave to you, or after you pass your exams. And also testimonial is what NMBI know as parchment. So if you did not get a testimonial from your school when you graduate, when you are going to get your document, tell them to get you a testimonial, so that will save as your parchment. And also marriage certificate for women that have changed their name. So let's say when you were in school, you were answering your maiden name, and when you are your passport, now you are now answering your husband's name. So you should get your marriage certificate and your change of name affidavit, okay, and attach. So this shows that you have done change of name. Is that okay? Remember that your passport, certificate, testimonial, change of name, all of these documents will be photocopied and notarized. Then for your school, the transcript, curriculum, and all of those letters may be notarized depending on your school. If your school wants to note you to take it notarized and bring it back to them, that's fine. If your school send it directly through their official email address, there's no need for notarization. But if your school does not have an official email, then you have to take it, notarize it, send it back to them to send it to NMBI, or send it back yourself, whichever one is applicable. Okay. Also, from your school, the school transcript and curriculum and all the documents you are getting from the school should be signed, dated, and stamped by the same person. I say that again. Your transcript, your curriculum should be signed, and your qualification form should be signed, dated, and stamped by the same person. So the stamp, the secretaries can always stamp it, because the principal will not have time, or your provost will not have time to go and start stamping all this thing. They can stamp because stamp is stamp, but the signature and the name, the person signing, has to be the same person. Okay. The next document you're getting is document from your workplace. So you have an employment form that you're downloading from NMBI website. The hospital will fill the employment form, sign, date, and stamp it with the hospital official stamp. Then the explanation letter is applicable if your hospital does not have maybe like a website, does not have an official email, and the person filling the form for you does not have a official work email as well. That's why they need to explain it in that explanation form. The form will be written on the hospital letterhead, same with that of the school, written on the school letterhead. I hope you are taking note. If you have watched up to this point and you have not liked, you have not shared, you have not commented on this video, tell me why. And if you are watching it on my YouTube, why have you not subscribed yet? Okay, moving forward. When you have gathered all these documents, the next step, remember, you have applied for your verification, right? You have gathered this your document, you have your IELTS result. The next step is to go on to the NMBI website and create an account. Now, creating an account can actually happen as soon as you've decided. There's no time frame for you when to create the account, because if your school is sending your documents to NMBI, when it gets to NMBI should be able to trace who has it. So if your school is sending the document to NMBI, create an account during that period. Otherwise, you can wait till this time. And when you are creating an account, I'm going to do a video on how you can create your account successfully, filling the details without any problems. Okay, that will be the next video coming up, so stay tuned. So you've created your account successfully, you upload all the document that is needed, and then you pay for your recognition fee. It is 350 euro. It's paid online. So if you have a euro card, a dollar card, or if your country accepts international transaction with your debit card, that's fine. Otherwise, look for someone to pay for you. I do that with just a token. Okay, I do that as well for people. Now you have applied, you have paid for your 350 euro, and your application has gone through. So you wait for them to get back to you. If there is any information they need from you, they will ask you. If there is anything that they don't understand, they will send you what they call a query, and then they will ask you, this is what and what you do not understand. They want you to explain, and you explain to them why those things are happening. Okay, and that's it. Everything being equal, from the time you submit your application, it should not be so long for you to get your decision later. Are you taking notes? Okay, now you've gotten your decision later. Your decision letter most times will say compensation measure required. Now, what are compensation measure? Compensation measure required means that they have gone through your application, they've gone through your trainings, and they see that yes, you are a registered nurse in your country, but we don't see that. We see that there is a gap between what you were trained in your home country and what we have here. So we want you to come and prove to us that we can trust you with our patients. Okay, so you have two options. One is the exams, the OSCE exams, and one is what is called adaptation, which is what I did. Okay, so in the next video I'm going to explain what these two actually means. So when you've gotten this, the next step is to go on to applying for a job, because oftentimes it is your employer that determines which compensation measure you are going to be doing. Most employers, especially the big hospitals, go for adaptation. But if you are being employed by a nursing home and some other hospitals, you go for the exam. So it's your employer that decides which compensation measure you are doing. Okay, I hope you're taking notes. Now you have applied for jobs from jobs website and you've gotten an offer. You've done an interview and you've gotten an offer. The next step now is for you to follow what your employer wants you to do. Now from this part now, it's a little bit different, but it's the same. So the next thing will be your employer will usually ask you to do some vaccinations, will actually ask you to do some medical examination, will ask you to do some tests, do some online courses. They will give you access to HSC LAN website, which is the website that we have most of the trainings that we do here as nurses, not only nurses, even healthcare assistants. So they will give you access to that website, access to some trainings, tell you what you need to do, what you should gather. So if you are coming for the exams, this is when you should get your scrub, get your comfortable shoe, and the shoe here is just normal plain, most of the time is black, plain work shoe that can prevent liquid or any waste from seeping through it and touching your feet. Okay, after that they will go ahead to book for your flight or ask you to book for your flight, and then you move into the country and start your compensation measure. Now you have arrived into Ireland. The next thing is either to write the exams or to do the adaptation. So either ways you have become successful. The next step is to apply for registration. So the first step you apply for NMBI was recognition. The next step now is going to be registration. Okay, so you apply for registration. If there is any document you did not submit well, they did not see clearly and all of that stuff, they are still going to ask you to bring for them, and you submit all of these things. Then you get an email that your application is successful and you are now a registered nurse. You'll be given a certificate of initial registration and certificate of annual retention. So in Ireland here, the certificate for you to be continuously on the register, the registration is done every year. So from January 1st to 31st is expired next year. Back home, like in Nigeria, is every 3 years that you renew your license, but here is every year. So you pay for your registration every year. So depending on when you get registered, you might be pardoned for the next year. So it depends. But for me, that I got in February, this period I need this December I will need to pay for my registration and renew it. But I think maybe people that got registered maybe around that November December period, they would give them automatically to land till the next year or something like that. Okay, yeah. So that's it. That's the overview of the entire thing of how you can become a nurse here in Ireland. I hope you find this video useful. If you do, please like, comment, and share. The more you like the video, the more Facebook, YouTube, TikTok gets to send my videos out for others to watch. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.